Hi, you guys. I realize this is not normally my setup that I do for my YouTube videos, but I'm in the middle of filming. I'm in the middle of filming for a new pilot program that I'm doing, a business program of creating and helping people create their own spiritual business, an entrepreneur kind of platform. So that's been going on for the past 8 weeks. I've been deep in the middle of that, and today has been our final day of filming. So I wanted to do my weekly YouTube video, but it's in the middle of this filming, and so I have to do it with this backdrop. So all that to say, that's why it looks different today, and that's why I'm in this shirt, because I'm in this shirt every single time we do that pilot program that's being created and filming for that. So anyways, bear with me. Thank you for being flexible in this, and you probably don't even care what the background is, but that's why I am where I am right now. So all that to say, hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're in this moment with me. And if you are new to this YouTube channel, you just check out more of my videos. I have a ton of them now on this platform in the archives. You should also go to my website, which is themodernshaman.net. If you're into all of this stuff, metaphysical content and just the non-physical realm, questions of what is that and why would that happen? And I had this weird experience, and has anybody else had that experience? There is a ton of content on this channel that's just free content. With a heart to help those that are kind of trying to navigate their way through this ascension journey and being awake and contemplative throughout the process. And so if that's you, I have a lot of content available and a lot of resources too on my website. If you want personal sessions with me, if you want training programs, mentorship, a lot of more kind of workbook and one-on-one modules through things. There's a lot of resources available. So visit the website if you feel led, or this archive of YouTube videos here that's available for you as well. Let's get to the question that y'all sent in for the week. It says, "Hi Rachel, thanks so much for our session." This is a previous client. "It was so empowering. I went deeper into my past lives afterward and found a strong sense of betrayal that's deeply rooted. The energy feels like a knife in my chest. I'm learning to trust myself, to trust others, and to trust the universe again. But how? I would love to hear what Spirit wants to say about it. Thank you. Much love." Woo! Woo, doggy. That's what I hear in my head. That's my Texan coming out. Woo, doggy. Yeah, you're preaching my life, Mama. You're preaching my life. I was talking about this actually earlier. I was going through a forum with some students that I'm mentoring. And in that forum, we were talking about when you get clients that have major transformation, and then they tell others about this wonderful experience, and then it puts you as the psychic or the medium or the healer in a place of humility of wow, I have no idea how I did that. I have to trust that next time Spirit's going to show up just as much for the next client that they're telling, oh, they did all this great stuff for me. And having no idea how that's going to play out in a space of humility and trust. That Spirit will show up 100% of the time. And I was talking about, that's the irony of this job. And I've been doing this for a long time, but I will tell you that as much as I have the ability to remote view into someone else's body and tell you what they're thinking and how they're feeling and what they're seeing and the experience, or go into another place and another time and connect with those on the other side, or in the future, or in our past lives. As much as I have the ability to do that, you know what Spirit works with me on? Trust. It's I can see anything I want to see. I can know anything I want to know. And yet Spirit constantly says, trust, trust. So that's why I said, you're speaking my life, Mama. This is something that has been a lifelong lesson in my life. I'm being totally honest with you. It's been a lesson, and I'm still learning it. And when you said, I'm learning to trust others again, I'm learning to trust myself, I'm learning to trust the universe, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Yep. I'm doing the same. So I'm looking forward to hearing what Spirit has to say to you too. In all humility of that space, that I am ever learning that. Because if we grow, if we want to evolve, then we always have to hit a precipice that's beyond ourselves. It's beyond what we currently know, beyond what we currently can dream, beyond what we think. So trust is an evolutionary lesson that you'll continue to learn your whole life, and you'll continue to be in that space. All right. I'll channel this a little bit as much as I do just speak from my own heart and my own experience. The first thing that I can tell you is I'm going to point to that reference that you made to how the energy feels, the clairsentient experience of it. Remember, that's the psychic sense of feeling an energy that isn't present physically in the material realm, but that is present in our non-physical realm. And you said the energy felt like a knife in your chest. Absolutely. And those that are also clairsentient or that feel energy empathically, emotionally, they can resonate with what you're saying. They're like, yep, I know how that feels. That's the first thing I will tell you, is to work there with what's given. And if you are feeling and you are given the experience of a knife in the chest, start by loosening that knife. And I mean that figuratively, and I mean that emotionally and psychologically, right? So when we loosen the knife in the chest, first of all, there's an energetic component that needs to be dealt with. So doing some healing work energetically. For me, I would do this as a shaman. I would literally do psychic surgery. I would pull out that knife. I would seal that wound with earth or with heat and fire, cauterize it with the elementals, and I would go into a personal space of physical healing, because you are feeling the impact of it energetically, physically. So there is a physical component to that needs to be addressed, right? It's like when we go through the death of someone and we deal with one part of the grief, but we don't deal with the other aspects of it. If you are feeling the grief of that betrayal physically in your body, then it needs to be dealt with in an equivalent manner physically. So physically feel like you are going into that place, whether you're doing this with a healer, a shamanic healer, or whether you can do this for yourself. All right, you just need to believe it. If you don't believe it when you do your own work, find someone else that you believe in. But if you can do it yourself, by all means, do it yourself. Pulling that out, that dagger out, asking who put it there, where it came from. You said that you did your own past life work and kind of went into it deeper. So there's a physical component that needs to be addressed. Notice and heal that physical component of the body, asking your body, what do you need, body, to feel safe again? And then listen and notice, where does your body hurt? Maybe it's connected to your womb. Maybe it's connected to the mental mind. Maybe it's connected to the stomach and your gut. It can be connected in all ways, to the throat, all areas of the body. Look for those connection points. Notice what your body is speaking to you. Because if it was already screaming to you and you're feeling that knife in the chest, then you're already privy to the fact that your body has a language that speaks to you. And that's clairsentience, right? In the psychic sense. And so look for the way to heal it with that same gift of the way it showed you that it was in pain. This body speaks all the time, but often we don't listen to it or give it valid respect and honor it as such. So take a moment to heal in that same method that you are feeling the pain. Pulling it out, absorbing it, creating a sense of peace and harmony with the body. Resolve that first. Then work on those elements of trust that feel like they move into, once you've created that sensation of peace or that sensation of security, I'm safe for yourself because you've pulled that out. You've asked your body, what is it that you need to feel safe? Once you've done that, then it will start creating a foundation for you that you can build upon. And from that foundation, you can start to make choices that allow you to trust. And I would start with the you. You mentioned others, you, and the universe. I would start with you. Starting with, okay, I know how to listen to my body. I know how to look at my past. I know how to say to myself what I need and what I don't need. Learn to listen to that voice unequivocally. Like, just absolutely listen to what your body is telling you and what your own intuition is saying for yourself. And then go from there. Once that is created as a foundation, then you can step into areas that feel new with being able to trust others and the universe. The universe is a beautiful cherry on top. It should be the center of everything. And yet, in my experience, the funny thing about that multidimensional aspect is it's the center and it's the top. It's all things. It's in all things. So we can go, as above, so below. We can go as deep as we want to go, and we can pull out and pan out as far as we want to go when it comes to finding and trusting the universal source in all things. One of which is that I trust that my life is working out as it needs to. That's a big one. Not viewing the turns, the curves, the successes and the failures in the way that the traditional academic world views them. Spirit doesn't view them like that. Spirit doesn't view them like that. And really, you look at your life as a child and when you were learning to walk. And you don't look back at all those times that you toddled around and you fell on your butt or you hit the coffee table. You don't even remember that. You learn to walk and then you walk. And you walk from here on out. It's structure, it's foundational, and now you feel safe, and now you're continuing on into how you trust. You don't look at those things as failures in life because at one time you didn't know how to walk and you toddled around and you bumped things. No, that's just the way it goes. You have to toddle before you can stand strong on your feet. And there's perfection in that. It has to be that way. There's divine interaction and guidance and wisdom in all that you've been through in your life. And if you sit and contemplate it, or if you trust that Spirit has worked that out for you, and that one day when you're out of this body, you'll see it, you'll do your life review and you'll go, oh yeah, I get it now. That makes sense. Or you can do your life review now if you have enough time to contemplate and sit and be with it. Either way, doesn't matter. It's outside of time. So don't stress about it, but there is a perspective that you can absolutely 100% lean into, like a trust fall. This is every bit of my experience is relevant and has purpose. And I trust that. I trust that it's what I needed when I needed it, even if I don't understand it in my human mind. I trust in something bigger than my brain and my cognition and what I can understand. And you know what's beautiful about trust is that it helps create the energy of strength. And so you don't feel shaky, where betrayal feels shaky and makes you doubt and worry and feel panic or anxiety. Trust is the opposite. It feels super strong. Doesn't mean it doesn't require courage and bravery, which sometimes mimics that anxiety feeling because you're on the precipice of something new. Because trust feels like I'm not sure what's on the other side, but it knows, that's the component of faith in there. It knows that there was wisdom beyond me that's got me. There's wisdom beyond this life that will catch me when I fall, no matter what it looks like in my human eyes, or how life or others or even myself may judge it. It was perfect for me. So that's how you do it. You keep leaning into that knowing. I know there's perfection in my life, and the divine timing of my life, and the people in my life, and even the things that I look back and I'm like, gosh, I regret that. Spirit doesn't regret it, even if we don't understand it from right here, right now. It will all be made clear, and you can put your trust in that, in knowing that it will all be made clear one day. One day. Even though it may not be a day on earth. Right? All right. I'm signing off here. Blessings.